And since we are all done with the WP environment, we can now switch to the very important thing of starting a WP theme development workflow. So that will be a starter theme. A starter theme is a theme which you can use to basically start off your project. Just so what we're gonna use is underscores. It's a underscores. Let me get you there first. Underscores, there it is, a starter theme for WordPress. So underscores is a project by Automatic as well, and it holds all the starter functions and features you may need for theme, for creating a theme. So by visiting to this underscores.me site, you can easily create your copy of theme. Just enter the theme name. Suppose we're gonna be calling this a test, and you can also go for these advanced options and choose your custom options for author name, author excuse me, author URI, author, theme slug, description, etc. And there's this WooCommerce boilerplate if you want to support WooCommerce, and there's this SaaSify option as well if you want to have SaaS based theming. So this is really it. I'm just gonna go with these. I'm just gonna fill these, and author, I'm just gonna enter my name, author.com, description is blah blah blah, and select SaaSify and generate. So it's gonna generate a file. As you can see here, it generated us a file, a theme file, and we have it here. Let's upload it in our WP installation. We can simply go to themes and add new, and then select your theme where you have downloaded. I have it here. You can simply drag and drop here and install now. So that should take a second or two. Yep, and simply click on activate. So it's installed. By default, it's not gonna have a screenshot. It does have a screenshot, but it's like this. It's a blank screenshot, and it's not gonna show anything, but it has all the stuff we added there. As you can see, test name and the author URI lishkan.com, and the description we added there, blah blah blah. And we can visit this one by visiting in our WP installation folder, app, public, content, themes, and there it is, test. Let's open it in VS Code. Just gonna open it in a new project folder. Just test. It's gonna have all the basic bare bones for starting off a WordPress theme, and you can move your way up and extend the features that has come with it, and like add basic features and all of the things you need for your design and as per you planned for your theme. And what it's missing is an automation script. So the next thing would be to have an automation script. So what an automation script is, it automates your workflow, such as creating an internationalization file for languages, etc. And that's basically the secondary word for languages, translation files. So it also helps you in hot reloading, because WordPress is not gonna reload pages while you have your code editor on and you're doing changes, and you might want to have a reloading feature where you do your changes and it reflects automatically. So that's what an automation script is. It's a lot more than that, but we're going to discuss it in the video. So what I use for automation, like when I'm starting a project, is WP Gulp, and I move my way up as I go through. If I have to extend some script or add any feature in it, I will simply add on my own, and yeah, that works out very well. So WP Gulp is a plugin by Ahmed Awais. He's a very good developer and very famous around WP industry. So it's a very reliable source. So WP Gulp is very well maintained, and yeah. Um, so as you can see, these are the features it has. It has a live reload browser with browser sync feature, hot reloading with style with CSS injection. So as you do your CSS changes, it's automatically gonna inject them in the browser. And there's the SAS to CSS conversion. There are all these features. There is CSS minification, source maps, and JavaScript concatenation, minification, uglification, and image minification. The translation feature I have talked about, and the watching feature. It watches all of your files as you do changes and automatically reloads the page. So how we can install this is we first need npm, which comes with node, and yeah, we're also gonna be needing gulp. So you first need to install those. So when you have all these, you can simply do npx gulp in your project folder. Simply open the terminal. You can do so by control. Okay, not this one. You can simply click suppose here. Since the shortcuts are not gonna be same in different operating systems, I'm just gonna show you. So you can simply click here and it'll gonna open a tab here, and you can select the terminal one, and you can do npx wp gulp. So it's automatically gonna add that script in your folder here, like in your project folder. So it has to be done in the root theme folder or plugin folder. Since we're doing this for a plug theme, we have done this in the theme root folder. So it's gonna take 1 to 10 seconds depending on the internet speed you have. So as you can see, it has already installed the thing, our WP Gulp script, and the next step is to configure this script, by which you can do this in WP gulp.config.js, which is available in the theme root folder where you have installed this one. So as you can see, the project URL which you're gonna be using, since we have our project running at wp.test, our test environment, the URL of that. You can check this one at this local by flywheel, and at the specific site, it says site domain, and just enter that one here, project URL, and the project URL root. It's just, let's just keep it this way, and by default it's gonna be this one, because unless if you have that installation in a subdirectory or something, you're gonna be changing this one, but else it's gonna stay the same. So browser auto open is in param. If you will set it to true, it'll automatically gonna open. When you run this script, it'll automatically open the browser tab. So there's that, and since we have a SAS based style system, you can set the style source to the styles main style SCSS file, and it's automatically gonna process it to style.css and a style.min.css minified file, as well as a normal CSS file. So that will be the destination of the param, and the output style, which can be compact or compressed or nested or expanded. You can check all of these for your desired result. Compressed will be the minified file, compact will also be a minified file but less compressed than the other. So it's similar to that, and the JS vendors folder, and the vendors folder is where all of your vendors, meaning dependencies, are going to be stored, which is where you don't want them to be added or anything. and the custom ones will be your own JS files, scripts, etc. So you can just specify all of these folder directories and change these as well. And this is the just JS vendor file. It's what it's gonna do is it's gonna take all of these files from here and paste a vendor file, this file named file, into this destination, and it's gonna be one single file holding all of that data. So that many files that request thing. So as many files as you have, as longer it's gonna take to load your page. So that's the basic idea of having one single file. Goes the same for this custom operation for the JS thing, and then this step is for images. You can set the source for this one, and it's gonna minify them and paste them here, and so that. And the styles watch, this is a watch process, like where you can specify all the styles, where you have all the styles and the JS files and the JS custom files and the PHP files. So what it's going to do is check for all these routes, and it's going to keep watching them. If you make any changes, it's going to automatically reload the page and process it and everything else. And then you can finally set the translation thing, the text domain which you have for the WP theme you just created. That'll be, you can check for that one in the styles folder, styles file in the style.scss. It's gonna say here text domain test. So it's test for us, so you can simply say test here, and the translation file it's gonna process, you can rename it here, and the folder is gonna paste it, and the package name and your translator name and the team name and the bug reports, etc. These are really not important, but still you're gonna want to change them. And the browsers list, which is gonna add okay, so that's about it for updating the script, and you can simply run that via saying gulp. Or there's also a process added at package.json, so you can do the fancy way of doing it, and that is npm run start, and all the other scripts you can run them manually for each single operation if you want, or else you can just do npm run start. It's automatically gonna run all of these scripts and have a watch script running all the time. And once you're done, you can simply exit this one, and yes, so that's about it for this one. And yeah, so the next thing is to track your code and have it saved somewhere, so that you don't lose your changes, and while you do your changes, you can always revert back to your previous code if you make any errors or anything. So that'll be a version tracking software. So the one I use for my everyday or project workflow is GitHub. There are other options as well, such as Bitbucket and GitLab, etc. But GitHub is a free one as well, and it really has all of those features you may need for version tracking and code tracking. So let's visit GitHub. It's at github.com, and it's very popular one. You may already know about this, so I'm not gonna go in deep into this, but it's a really good one, and has recently Microsoft had acquired this one and added that private repositories feature for free, because earlier it had that feature, but you had to pay for it first, but now it's free. So alternatively, you can simply just use this one, because earlier developers have to use a Bitbucket for creating private repositories, but now you can simply create a private repository for free in this one as well. And uh, as you can see, let's visit our repository, and GitHub has issues, pull requests, actions, and projects. Code is where your code is gonna get stored, and it has many features such as branch, packages, releases, where you can differentiate your code with different parts, and releases is where you release your code. That's really the after part, but the basic parts are commits. These are the points, suppose a backup point, and these are named points. And branch is where you branch off of a code and separate separate different trees. So suppose if you have a feature where it's experimental, you're gonna branch off of the main running stable version, and then walk up to the stable one, and then merge it into the main branch, so that everything works smoothly. So that is like that. And issues is where you can create um, reference for any uh, obstacle or challenge you're seeing in your workflow. So there's that. And um, projects is where you can manage a board where you can organize all the tasks, workflow, status, progress, etc. Everything. It has really great features for free, and you can use these to manage your workflow. So there is also a fancy, uh, like there are other many options for your fancy project management stuff, such as Trello, um, and other stuff. You can use simply use GitHub for your project management, but you can also use Trello. But I would simply suggest to use GitHub, since it's gonna store your code as well, and you're simply a tab away from your project management thing. So the last thing is to check your code for any errors and any standard stuff which you may have missed or anything. So there are many different plugins which you can use to do that, such as, let's check one out. This installation WP test. So there's that plugin which we saw earlier in the uh, developer plugin, so which we already installed. That's developer plugin. So developer plugin, let's just visit this one back, and as you can see here, this is that one, theme check. So theme check is a plugin which helps you check your theme code. It has some default rule sets for checking a WordPress theme, and it's automatically gonna add a folder here, sorry, a page here. It's gonna be at appearance, yeah, exactly, theme check. So you can simply choose between all of the themes installed and press check it. So it's gonna check for the errors, and it's gonna show you all those errors, and then you can revisit your code and modify them. And it's also gonna suggest you what you can do to fix those errors. So it's really helpful if you're code checking. And there is also one other plugin which you can use, that is theme sniffer, it's called. It is also available in the WordPress plugin repository, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to show you here. It's here as well, and the repo is here. So theme sniffer is also by the same team, WP theme review team, and theme check is also by them. So actually it's maintained by Auto42 and Pros, but it is they are the same members who are behind the WP theme review team. So theme sniffer is maintained regularly, but theme check is, I think, outdated, but both works the same way. But I would suggest using theme sniffer as well. It has all the recent standard updates, etc. You can simply run both of these and suppress all those errors and fix them if you're going to upload at wordpress.org. Yeah, if you're going to upload your theme at wp.org. Yeah, so that's about it. That wraps up a modern WordPress development workflow, which I think maybe is useful if you're gonna create a WordPress theme. And this is what I use if I'm starting a WordPress theme development workflow. And yeah, It really helps if you know what you're gonna do, and if you have some idea about the uh, development tools you're gonna be using and stuff. So I thought, why not I share some of what I think and what I use with you guys. So uh, that's about it. I hope it helps you, and I'm also gonna create a WordPress advanced theme development course. So it's gonna be coming soon, in the next month or so, and it has all of those steps from scratch to the advanced selling part of the theme as well. So I guess stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah.